The Hole in the Ark by Marriott Edgar. One evening at dusk, when Noah were putting green oil in starboard... My name is Judith. Off stage it's Judith Unwin, on stage it's Judith Daniel. I've been involved with the theatre since 1960. I've always been interested in theatre for the simple reason that as a child I was very, very shy. But when you're on stage, you're not yourself, you're somebody else, and so the confidence is there. I'm sure a lot of people feel like that. They followed the hound as it went sniffing round, and at last they located the leak. It were an hole in the side about 2 inches wide, where a swordfish had stuck in its beak. In 1960, I was in a play called The Enchanted, and I was going on stage, and the man who was doing the sound effect, my cue line, Barry, he made the gunshot, and then I went on stage. And we became good friends. Well, in fact, more than good friends, because we got married in '62, and we've been together ever since, so 48 years now we've been married. When we got married, I was in a play, and when it came to doing the programme, I said, don't forget I'm married now, so my name is Judith Unwin. And they said, oh yes. When the programme came out, it said Judith Daniel. Next time I was in a play, I said, please don't forget, I'm Judith Unwin now. Oh yes. And it came out Judith Daniel. So in the end I thought, oh, forget it. I'll just be Judith Daniel when I'm on stage, Judith Unwin when I'm not. That poor faithful hound. He very near drowned. They dragged him away none too soon, because the stream, as it rose, shoved his way up its nose and blew him out like a balloon. I started with Leeds Children's Theatre when my children became old enough to join Children's Theatre. When Louise was 7, my daughter, she joined, and so I became involved, obviously. Since then, I've remained involved, and I've acted with them, I've directed with them, and I do a workshop on Saturday mornings. The Children's Theatre was formed by a group of teachers who wanted to show that there is more to theatre for children than just pantomime, and so we do plays. With Children's Theatre we've had a lot of successes. We've had some famous people, yes, well, famous now. John Craven, he started with Children's Theatre a very long time ago, before me. And Angela Griffin, of course, she was with Children's Theatre. She played Alice the first time I directed Alice in Wonderland, and she played Alice, and I think she was probably about 8 or 9 at the time. She's gone on to bigger and better things, of course. Some of the characters that I've played, I've really enjoyed. Well, I enjoy all of them, but some of them more than others. We did a play called The Vigil, and I played the prosecutor in that, and that's a very, very moving play. I really, really enjoyed that part. It's basically a trial scene. They're trying the gardener from the Garden of Gethsemane, accusing him of stealing the body of Christ. That was a really moving play and a very, very good part. I think perhaps the only one that I never did that I would really have liked to do was Kate in Taming of the Shrew, because I think that is one of the best Shakespeare ladies parts ever. I think it's a super part, and I would have loved to have done that. When you're directing a play, it's totally different. You basically feel responsible for everything. If you're in a play, you're, well, really only responsible for learning your own lines and your own moves and making sure you give the right cues. If you're directing, then you've got to think of everything. Scenery, set, positioning of people, characters, just everything. And that is really, really hard. Enjoyable, but hard. I just think it's a shame, perhaps, that we don't get more people coming to see amateur theatre. I think the word amateur puts a lot of people off. They assume that it's going to be, oh, I don't know, village hall type stuff. But it isn't. There are a lot of really, really talented people who work with the amateur theatre. Especially here in Leeds, we've got a huge amount of talent. And it's a shame that people can't or won't make the effort to come and see the shows. They really are worth seeing. Amateur theatre it's something for everyone. You get everything, and I just think it's a shame that we don't get more people and that the word amateur perhaps puts them off. When we were at the Civic Theatre, it was lovely. I know it was an old building and I know it needed renovation, but it was a lovely atmosphere, a lovely little theatre. And we were like a family. It was just lovely. People used to go straight from work and meet in the bar area and chat, and it was a comfortable place to be, it was a friendly place to be, it was a safe place to be, it was lovely. When we were told that we had to move out, well, obviously we were extremely upset and, well, to a certain extent angry. We felt that perhaps if they had spent the money doing it up as a theatre and used whatever lottery money or whatever it was to build a museum or change one of the other places into a museum, we would have been very happy. But it wasn't to be. But then when we were coming over here, we realised that at least we were still all together. At least we could still work together. We weren't being separated and pushed into different areas. And so to a certain extent it's worked. It's not quite the same sort of atmosphere for us, but we've got a good stage, we've got a good auditorium, and we're still together, which is important. And that's why dogs have a cold nose and women cold elbows. You'll also find, if you inquire, that that's why a man takes his coat tails in hand, stands with his back to the fire.